Have you ever wondered why there are people who live honestly, simply, and are always at ease and content in this bustling life? They seem to not compete, do not have to fight, but still always have an unbelievable peace and gentleness. Meanwhile, the cruel and brutal people, even though they sometimes think they hold all the power and money, are immersed in fear and loneliness. What is waiting for them? Is it just retribution that they have not seen? Or is it contempt from the very society that they once dominated with aggression? Is life fair, and are the wicked really punished? 1. The story of Keanu Reeves, a famous Hollywood actor. Although Keanu has achieved great success in his acting career with films such as The Matrix and John Wick, he is still known for his simple lifestyle and deep compassion. Keanu was born into a difficult family with a broken family and many difficulties. However, he always maintains a positive and optimistic attitude in life. Keanu does not let wealth and fame change his honest and humble nature. He often uses his wealth to help those around him, especially the behind-the-scenes staff on film crews. Keanu once donated a large amount of his salary to the technical team and those who worked silently behind the scenes because he understood that they were the ones who contributed to the success of the film. In addition, Keanu also participates in many charitable activities, but rarely makes this public. He supports cancer research and children's organizations, but always keeps his charity work private, not seeking public attention. Keanu is famous for his simple lifestyle, away from the luxury and ostentation of the entertainment industry. Despite his large fortune, he often travels by public transport, eats at cheap restaurants, and lives in a modest house. He does not pursue fame or material things, but focuses on deeper values such as kindness, sharing, and humanity. Keanu Reeves's life is a clear proof that a person can live honestly and comfortably, even in the world of fame and money. It is his modesty, open-mindedness, and contentment that have helped him find true peace and happiness in life, despite the glamour of Hollywood. Honest and carefree people are those who live simply, are full of love and purity from the heart. They do not only live for themselves but also know how to bring joy and peace to those around them. Moral values, honesty, and deep empathy help them build sincere, selfless relationships. In life, they are willing to help others without expecting anything in return, acting from deep compassion. They find joy in simple things, such as the sound of birds singing, the afternoon breeze, or a family meal. For them, wealth does not come from material things, but from peace of mind. Honest people are not caught up in ambition or desire. They choose to slow down, be grateful for what they have, and always keep their souls peaceful. This serenity gives them peaceful sleep, a life with less anxiety, and no competition. Living by noble moral values, they are loved and respected. It is their simplicity and sincerity that help them become a support for those around them, creating trust and love from everyone. 2. Cruel and cruel people. People who live with a jealous and hateful mentality often have deep envy, unable to accept the success or happiness of others. They always find ways to harm, hurt, and bring down people around them to satisfy their selfishness and personal ambitions. All their actions come from greed, the desire for power and money, regardless of the moral values or feelings of others. They are willing to use any means, from deception to violence, just to achieve their goals, regardless of the consequences that their actions may cause. The lives of these people are always covered with tension and fatigue. They never have a moment of true relaxation, because they always have to worry and guard against the dangers from the enemies they themselves have created. All their relationships are built on suspicion and calculation, making them unable to trust anyone. People around them gradually distance themselves from them. No one wants to contact or associate with someone who only lives for personal gain and is willing to hurt others to achieve their goals. Greed and hatred make them never find peace. No matter how much wealth or power they achieve, their minds are constantly worried and insecure. They cannot enjoy what they have because they are always afraid of loss and betrayal. The lack of affection and compassion makes their lives lonely, without any sincere relationships. Even if they achieve a high position in society, they still have to face loneliness and alienation from society. In the end, cruelty, greed, and hatred only bring them tragic endings. They may achieve temporary success, but the price is loneliness and suffering. No one wants to be associated with people who are heartless and cruel, and that pushes them into isolation and loneliness. Their hatred and blind ambition make their lives a long series of mental pain, and when faced with the consequences of their cruel actions, they realize that all they have is emptiness and meaninglessness. A clear example of a famous character that can be applied to this description is Lord Voldemort, from the Harry Potter series of novels by J.K. Rowling. Voldemort is a typical example of an evil, violent, brutal person who is despised by society and eventually meets a tragic end due to his actions. He constantly seeks to harm others, especially Harry Potter, to consolidate his power and maintain his immortality. Voldemort did not hesitate to use violence, dark magic, and murder to achieve his goals, regardless of the consequences for innocent people. His life was haunted by absolute power and control, making him constantly on guard, worried about enemies and treachery from those close to him. Greed and hatred made his mind restless, never having peace. Voldemort was shunned by society, had no sincere relationships, and lived in solitude, haunted by power and afraid of failure. Ultimately, Voldemort's cruelty and brutality led to a tragic end when he was defeated and lost everything, leaving him alone and miserable. Lesson: good or evil line determines the direction and outcome of life. In life, good and evil minds are two paths that people can choose to take. Good minds are thoughts and actions that come from compassion, love, and respect for others. On the contrary, evil minds are selfish, calculating behaviors that harm those around them just to gain benefits for themselves. Choosing between good and evil minds not only affects others, but also directly shapes the future, direction, and outcome of each person's life. People who live with good minds often bring joy and happiness to those around them. They are respected and loved by others, and their lives, despite difficulties, are always full of faith and peace. When living with kindness and honesty, they receive invisible blessings that they themselves may not immediately realize, but it will gradually appear in good results later. On the contrary, those who live with an evil mind, although they may achieve temporary success through scheming and tricks, will eventually have to face the consequences of what they have sown. Greed, jealousy, and evil minds will gradually destroy not only their relationships, but also their souls, making their lives empty and lonely. The achievements they gain from cruelty and lack of conscience will not be sustainable, and when facing adversity, they will have no spiritual support to overcome. The life of each person is a long and challenging journey. Choosing a good or evil mind is like deciding which direction to go on that road. If we choose a good mind, we will walk on an open, bright path with much help and companionship from like-minded people. But if we choose an evil mind, we will be led into dark, bumpy, and lonely paths. Cultivate your heart to live honestly and peacefully. Cultivating your soul and practicing kindness is the path that helps each person find true peace and happiness. When the soul is pure, kindness blooms. Life naturally becomes more peaceful and gentle. Cultivation not only helps us become better people, but also contributes to making the world around us a better place. Kindness is not innate, but is the result of practice, patiently learning from mistakes and difficulties in life. Living honestly does not mean not encountering challenges, but knowing how to face them with compassion, patience, and tolerance. When cultivating the heart, people will learn to look at things with more tolerant eyes, not hastily judging or being picky. Thanks to that, the soul becomes lighter, freed from unnecessary burdens, and gradually achieves inner peace. Finally, remember that an honest life not only benefits others, but is also the greatest gift for yourself. Peace, happiness, and the meaning of life only truly exist when we know how to live with an honest heart, full of love and respect for everything around us. Thank you for following and taking the time to listen to our sharing about the difference between honest people and evil people. Hopefully, through what we have conveyed, you have realized the importance of living honestly and the value it brings to each person's life. If you find this story has evoked positive thoughts in you, do not hesitate to share your feelings in the comment section below. Your comments are a great source of motivation for us to continue to improve and bring more and more rich content. Please like the video if you find the content useful and inspiring, because each of your likes helps us continue to grow. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any interesting videos in the future. We are always ready to share meaningful lessons and stories to help you find peace and the right direction in life. Once again, thank you all for accompanying us. We wish you to always live with a good heart, find happiness and peace in every step of your journey. Stay positive, and we will see you again in the upcoming videos. Goodbye and see you again.